Hi. Oh, you stupid logo. Ah. Hey everyone, good morning. Yay. What an exciting day. So OBS may keep working, may not keep working. I don't know. My logo is not working again. Alexa, turn off logo. My chat script isn't working properly again. I thought I fixed it after the stream last week, but apparently not. Just rebooted that. Well, to say it's been a good week is, well, no. No. Alexa, turn on logo. This is all I'm going to do all day today, is I'm going to turn my logo on and off. I'm going to turn chat on and off, and pray that, or keep rubbing OBS the right way, as Dutch Taurus said, except I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so I need coffee. Hang on. Just wait. Slurp. Sorry.
Mark Elson says testing 1 2 3.
Testing 1 2 3 worked. And the logo died. Oh, reboot. It rebooted itself. I'm not. It should do that now. If it loses connectivity, it should reboot itself. I added that the other day. But sometimes it doesn't. It loses connectivity, but freezes.
We Are the Borg says it's not the most wonderful time of the year.
Wait, what?
Mark Elson says testing 1 2 3.
It's not the wonderful time of year. It's okay. So it's been a fun week. My patrons know all about it. Well, it's been no. I shouldn't say it's been a fun week, because that's making a joke out of a disaster. So, where do I start? I should give everyone an update. Like, people are asking about the VNA. So, the status of the VNA is nothing's changed. Still unusable. Still no firmware. Still no help from Siglin. And still no alternate option that I can buy that isn't at least double the price, which is not happening. Because, let me just tell you, this week, or any week, I absolutely cannot afford to replace the VNA. Yeah, frustrating starts with F, and fun does as well, and so does a few other words I could think of that seem way more appropriate than fun. I can't stop slurping my coffee, I'm sorry. Okay, let's start with saying hi to folks, and then we'll get into the thick of the local time. It's 7 o'clock in the morning right now, and I already want this day to end. I'm already over the day. Okay, Adam, good morning. Antonio, Alan, Madston, I have no idea if you're going to crash the thing or not. You can try it. I could always... Oh, you did it. What? The break again? Yep. Alan broke it again, the chat. Maybe it's something to do with what your voice is set to. That's a possibility. Hang on. I got to restart the chat thing again. 1 second. 1 moment, please. Oh, wait, I got to do something. So, sorry, just, you know, because this is the best coordinated start of a stream ever. So, I just got to do this. I got to say, Ignion, what you doing? So that's the way you're supposed to read the thumbnail. What you doing? That's what my kids say to me all the time. Hey Dad, what you doing? Yeah, okay. Now I've got that out of my way. Let's get back to Teletronics. Hello. Dutch Taurus, hi. Johan, Richard Fry, good day, mate. You're up early. I hope you're well. Hope the family's well. Adam, we already said hello to Adam. Also, hey ho again to Adam. Embedded Hobbyist, hello. Cable Tie, good morning. Zip. David Essa, hello. Johnny, blah blah yourself. Blah 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 blah. Brayton, hello. I see you're making frameless stencil holders. Very cool.
We are the Borg says I'm always a miserable git in December.
I'm always a miserable git all the time now. Sorry, Mark, good morning. Henrik, hello. Hey,
Mark
Philly,
also
Mark.
says git push Adam.
Git push Adam. Git push. Git. Oh my god, I can't even talk. Git push. Get rid of Wednesday. Mr. Explorer, hello. Intimate Tech, hey Condor. Sorry, I'm doing a very bad job this morning. Wolfgang, hello. Life in Cycling, hello. That's a cool name. Life in Cycling. Paul's Project, hi mate. Graham, hello. Hello, Antenna. Use 2 jam tins of the piece. I'm getting close to having to do that actually. Yeah. Andy Mouse, hello. Squeak. Yobo Prime, hello. Zack Attack, hi. Hansy, hello. Scrollies. Sid, hello Sid. Quantum Leaper. That was such a good show. The reboot was not so good. Austin's Creations, hello Austin. Oh, it jumped. Okay, it's going backwards now. Hello DIY in the Ghetto. And Kevin, hello Kevin. Hey John. Good % time of day. Oh, someone's trying to hack my SQL database. SQL injection. I'm just kidding. Okay, have I got everyone? I don't know. And anyone that is lurking that hasn't hasn't. Oh my god. Can we start again? Can we just disconnect and start again? I think we should do that. Now DIY Ghetto has killed the talking as well. Okay. I'm gonna try something. Just one. Hold on. Time to. Let's do some. See if we can do a quick fix of this chatty thingy. I'm going to kill this and kill that. Not kill. Shouldn't say kill. Don't say kill. Going to. Okay, I'm starting it again. I've deleted all the settings that get loaded for all the people, all the things, everyone's settings that they've started. Whatever. Oh, was it Alan again, was it? Okay, well, I've just restarted it, and I've killed everyone's settings. Not so easy. What? What's not so easy? Okay. So is it working now?
Unexpected maker says Ignion, what you doing?
Okay.
Mark Olson says blah blah Alan Madsen.
Don't say Alan's name, it'll destroy it again. Hey Michael. Hey Bruce. Please don't listen while you're driving, Bruce. Don't have an accident. Okay, so...
Mark Olson says copy pasted Alan Madsen.
So... let's have a quick chat of the week. I've got some things to tell you, things to show you, things to talk about. Updates. Let's start with updates. So V&A, no, nothing. Pick and place, not fixed. Yeah. Being worked on. It's frustratingly, complicatedly. I don't know if you'll even be able to see
Alan
this.
Madsen says break.
Oh, that worked.
Mark Olson says testing after Alan.
Okay, it's working. That's enough testing. I'm not sure everyone can see my hand. I did this to my hand yesterday. trying to unscrew screws from the camera mounting on the front camera of my pick and place machine to get the lighting module out, and they, like awesome Neoden, they Loctite all the screws. So not only did I do that to myself, like that takes a lot of effort to do that to your hand, I destroyed 2 Allen keys, 2 hex keys, one of them a new flat bar, and I destroyed the nuts, the screws, so they can't be removed now, and I can't heat them to get
The
them
embedded
out.
hobbyist says Edgar Allan Poe.
And I can't get them out, I can't use heat to get rid of the Loctite because there are sensitive cables running on the other side of the metal. And so I'm going to have to drill them out now. So I've managed to replace one of the lighting modules on the back, which fixed the back camera. Yay! But I can't fix the front one, which means I can't use the pick and place machine because now they have 2 different lighting modules. So yeah, I'm kind of stuck with that at the moment. So the pick and place and the air situation is not fixed on the pick and place machine. But some exciting news. So my compressor died. My new one, the third hand one I got, right? The compressor died. It was going to cost like between $4,000 and $5,000 minimum to fix
Adam
it.
Bryant says go home autocorrect. You are.
So I went to my backup one, my old one, and on Sunday that cracked. And so I had no compressor. So I had a compressor and I had a backup compressor, and both of them dead. So Monday morning I not panic bought, because I was already speaking to the company and I was already looking into this particular thing, but I bought a new compressor. So this is what my new compressor looks like. Let me just load that up now and show you. So this is my new compressor setup. I have this is a screw compressor, not a scroll, unfortunately. And it's a lubricated, not a oil-free. So it's compressor there and then a separate dryer on the other side, new filtering, it's all been redone. That was installed on Monday for me. Isn't quite what I wanted, but what I wanted was double the price, and this was already massively expensive. This was a very unexpected cost that was not, I was unprepared for. So for those that know anything about screw compressors, is they are quite expensive, or any compressors are. Did they come to fix the problem with the not kicking in when the pressure too low? Yeah, it was a I don't think the guy who installed it all set it up properly. So that was installed on Monday. Tuesday morning I came in 7 o'clock in the morning to start trying to pick and place, and the compressor wasn't kicking in. It turns out that there was a setting that I don't think he'd set up properly. So when I turned it off Monday night, turned it back on again, it actually threw an error, and I didn't know what that like. Yeah, I've now been taught how the interface works and everything else. So yeah, I thought about changing my business name to Unexpected Disasters, because it's been a pretty disastrous 3 weeks now. So this is the 3rd week, almost going into the 4th week of a half at best functioning pick and place machine, at best. And the no compressor thing was a real kick in the nuts, let me tell you. So anyway, I have a new compressor. Unfortunately, it's really, it's not as loud as my piston one was, but it's really loud compared to the screw compressor, the scroll. But a scroll compressor was going to cost me $17,000. You need to drop the un. So it's expected disasters. Yeah, well, it's not expected maker. So that was great news. That was one of the wonderful things that happened. The other one, this is, it sounds like not such a big deal, but it really is. So, and this is what I guess today's stream topic is about. Hello, Sergeant Bond. Hey, Emery. There's actually not such a large compressor. So it's only got like 20 CFM. Well, I mean, it goes to 8 bars, 5.5 kilowatt. Like it's fine for everything I need. And it's a 300 litre tank receiver. But it's, yeah, like, it's the smallest ones they make. Like 5.5. I guess some companies make 3 kilowatt like this. Anyway, it's, yeah. Have I missed anywhere else? Mad Techie, hello. You found isopropyl alcohol can help with Loctite. Okay, I can give that a try, except it's too late. I've already damaged the hex heads of the. So it still exhausts every 45 minutes. So I got an auto drain thing put on the bottom of the receiver, because now the dryer and the water capture is on the outgoing side of the receiver, not the ingoing. So there will be more fluid that comes in, more water condensation inside the tank. Hey, Dave. But what so the guy that installed
Anti-Christmas says, I hate those things. They always release unexpectedly.
Yeah, you'll hear them. You'll hear it today. So the maximum time slot is 45 minutes on this thing. You can't make it go every 3 hours. But the guy that installed it set it to fully open and didn't tell me that I could adjust it. The guy that came yesterday to work out what was wrong with the compressor showed me a little valve at the back that I couldn't see that I could actually. So what I've done is I've managed to shut it off like 2/3, so it still drains for 2 seconds every 45 minutes. But what I can do is I'm going to put a Wi-Fi, both a Wi-Fi plug on it, and I'm going to put a timer on it. So it won't run during the night, so it won't just empty the tank unnecessarily, and I can turn it on and off just by talking to the A thing. Yeah, the A thing. So that's all kind of sorted. Everything's broken in the new shop, so let's test the thumbs up button. Thanks. Yeah, it was really a exciting thing. So let's get back onto. I just want to talk about the topic. Hey, Island Monkey. So,
Anti-Christmas says, click thumbs up.
Anti-Christmas. Don't be anti-Christmas. Christmas is wonderful. Has everyone seen Spirited, the new film with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell? It's awesome. Really enjoyed it. Love it. I hate Christmas movies, I gotta say. Sorry. This was great. It was a musical, and it was awesome. I love a good musical. So Mark reckons he got his VNA working. I'm pretty sure that you've said that before, though, in the past. So, yeah, we'll have a chat offline about that, Mark. So, I posted the course, which I put up at work, caused a bit of a fuss. Okay. Let's talk about antennas. So, I was almost out of my Ignion antennas, my white antennas that I use on my boards, and was struggling to get more at a reasonable price. DigiKey's price was all over the place. Basically, for 7 weeks, I was trying to reorder stock of my antenna at least the same price I got last time, if not cheaper. And I couldn't get, and it was really frustrating. Anyway, I finally managed to source some the other day. I got an extra 5,000 delivered yesterday. That's all I could buy. But in the process of doing that, I reached out to Ignion, the company that makes the antennas, and found out why I was having so much trouble buying them and why the price was fluctuating so much. And that is because, I found this out about 4 hours after I bought these antennas, which is fine because I need these antennas anyway. is because Ignion have now discontinued the whole entire line of their white antennas, including the one I use, and they have a new range of antennas that I have to move to instead if I want to keep using Ignion. And, well, that's rather problematic and rather bad timing for me, because I have so I've already got my new Tiny S3 revision, like my current boards that I make in production that I'm selling. No, we'll get to that, Kevin. So they are my new design, my P7, which has the new RF layout, and my Feather S3 and Pro S3 arrived today, my panels. I'm out of stock on Feather S3s. I've got some Pro S3 left, but I'm out of panels on both. New panels coming today. They are also the new design with the new RF layout. All three boards have the extra RF pads that I need to put filtering on to suppress secondary harmonics, so I could take them into CE certification if I chose. The problem now is they do not have a drop-in replacement antenna. So it's not just that the antenna would need to be retuned and rematched, but the footprint is different. There is no matching footprint antenna that they make now. So all of my new panels that I've bought and all the time I've invested in getting all that design done and matching and everything else is an end-of-life thing. In terms of my boards and functionality and stuff, they're not an end-of-life product, but just as well, I have been kind of stalling on this and stalling, looking at going through pre-cert again on my boards to make sure that I can certify, because I'd have to change the antenna. And if I change the antenna, that I'd lose all certification on my board. So this is a pretty nasty change. I now have to move all my designs over to this new to a new antenna. It doesn't have to be theirs. I can go for a TDK and I can pick any antenna, right? But whatever I pick will be a PCB redesign, relayout, different footprint, different size antenna, different matching, different everything else. End of life, yeah, like my old compressors. So this is the first time I've ever actually had a product that I use on my boards become obsolete. Obsolete to the point where Ignion said, obsolete to the point where you can generally still keep buying the part and keep using it. And if eventually you can't get it, you swap it with something else. But you can't do that on a certified board. Definitely not on a radio, right? I mean, that would be the key thing that would completely break and invalidate your certification. So I found out about this a few days ago, and I've been looking at new antennas, and I'm trying to get some clarification from Ignion. I'm still waiting for a reply. Now, there is an upside to moving to a different antenna, and I guess from them, but there were way more downsides than upsides at the moment. Strange that so here's the thing. So DigiKey have been having trouble getting them, and their price has been all over the place because they've been having trouble getting quantity. They haven't been able to get their price breaks, quantity discount price breaks they get, so their price is all over the place. But at no point through the last 7 or 8 weeks I've been talking to DigiKey and trying to sort all this out, have they ever mentioned that the part had been discontinued. Now, Ignion say that DigiKey know the part has been discontinued. So that's really bad form on DigiKey's side. I don't expect that Ignion would have contacted me. They don't know who I am. They don't sell directly to customers. They wouldn't sell to me. I even offered to buy 100,000 antennas off them, and they wouldn't sell to me. I have to go through a reseller. But they did let me know it's been discontinued, and that is why people can't get stock and why the price is fluctuating. So yeah, DigiKey should have actually, it should be listed on their website, not for new projects or whatever, at least. And it wasn't. Right, so there's some products you've got to keep designs going, 25 years, whatever. I don't need to for mine, but if I was going to go through certification, I'd want to know that all the parts on my board are going to be valid for at least 2 years. Like, it would probably take me 2 or 3 years just to recoup the costs of my certification, right, for the product. No, they do know. They do know, Johnny. I know they know. Well, they've come up with a new design for their antennas, Emery, which has some new functionality. The current antenna is an NN0110-102. NN01-102 is the current antenna. Right, but something like a chip from TI, right? Quite often you can get drop-in replacement chips from other brands or whatever else. You know, they might function slightly differently. You know, they might take a PCB change, maybe or maybe not, but they don't fundamentally alter or break the board, right? Or kill certification like this. So I'm just going back to see if I missed any questions. Fit, form, and function. What? What are we blowing up? Christian says, nothing yet. Soon. So this is what I'm just going to go to their website. Hang on. Funny, RF has not changed since it was discovered. Yeah, Mauser has 20k in stock. I know they do, but not at the price I want, and they won't talk to me on price. And 20k doesn't help me. I'm not going to invest now in buying a whole bunch of parts anywhere I can get them just so I don't have to change my design. I need to change my design. Like, I need to future-proof myself. I can't just keep buying and hope that I'll still be able to continue buying, and then, like, if I'm not going to certify my boards, it doesn't matter. I can keep buying and then change it later. But the whole point of this was to be able to go through certification. Yeah, I can't do a PCB. I can't do a PCB antenna on my boards. So I'm completely space limited. And works out like, so that antenna, you got no idea how much that cost them. Yeah, ProAnt are great at designing PCB antennas. And it would, you got to remember, I need a solution for all of my products. So every single one of my boards, from Tiny Pico Nano, 2 different Tiny Picos, a Tiny Pico Nano, Tiny S2, Feather S2, Feather S2 Neo, Feather S3, Pro S3, Tiny S3, Nano S3, they all use an antenna, right? Yes, I know ProAnt is Swedish. You tell us that every time, Mark, or Johnny does. So getting a custom PCB antenna designed for every board would, I'd have to mortgage my house and sell a kidney and a lung and my leg. So I need an antenna that I can use on all my boards, all my various boards. So it has to be an external antenna. Plus I don't have the room for it, the real estate space. So this is their website. So the nice thing is all their new antennas are red. They look really good because, you know, everyone knows red goes fast. So all of their new antennas now are multi-band, and that's one of the benefits. So this is actually the replacement for my antenna, and it's a multi-band antenna, which means it can do everything from LoRa all the way to 7 gigahertz, right? But as I said, it's a completely different footprint, like not compatible at all. Different layout on the PCB requirements, which is a problem because their design requirements now are such that I can't get them on my boards. So we're going to look at that in a moment. But there's 2 antennas I'm looking at. So there's this one, which is the one they recommend, which is the drop-in, which is this one, the NN03320. I'm going to need a working VNA. That's the problem. So it's the same size, 7mm by 2 by 3, but a completely different footprint on the bottom. What's interesting is there's no clearance beyond the antenna footprint required on these, which mine actually has a clearance that I break, but that's okay. And yeah, it goes all the way. It actually goes lower. They say 1561, but actually there's a version of it that starts at 900 megahertz. What? I don't know what that all means. Wideband and less than bugger all gain is something that small can have any gain. Well, they've got okay gain. They're slightly less than my current antennas, but they're still quite reasonable considering the size of my boards, right? I have TOC in 15. What's TOC? I don't know what TOC is. So if you look here, they're not quite as efficient. So my current antenna is 70% efficiency. These are only 50%, but they've got a pretty low peak gain. The virtual SWR isn't quite as good as mine. TOC. Oh, right, okay. So mine's less than 2 to 1. But as you can see, it depends on the frequency range. Right, if Bluetooth solution greater than 70%, 1.8 dBi, less than 2.5. The other one I'm looking at is this one, which is the NN02-101, which is tiny. So it's 3mm by 2 by 0.8. It's half the size, less than half the size of my current antenna, which would be awesome for like my Nano S3. It's got a 5.5mm clearance around it, but this one is not multi-band. It only does 2.4 gigahertz. So I couldn't use something like this on a dual bandwidth ESP32, right? That's coming out next year. So I can't do 2.4 and 5 gigahertz on it. It's only 2.4. So that's a problem, but it's really tiny. But here's the issue. It has to sit sideways. So I don't have any room on my boards, even as small as that is, to put them sideways. I'd have to redesign all my boards. I'd have to change the footprint of my boards or make my boards 3mm longer to be able to fit a sideways antenna on. Now I could do that on my Nano S3 because that's not in production yet. I can change it again, even though I've got my final prototypes coming today, which is frustrating. But on all my current designs, I can't do this. These ones here are like double the no, it depends on the quantities I'm buying. The problem is I wouldn't be able to buy the quantities I need to get the right price if I'm not using that antenna on every board. And I have to completely, not just redesign a new footprint on my designs and different RF layout, I'd have to physically change the dimensions of my boards to be able to use this antenna, which will break footprint and you know, compatibility, like, you know what I mean? Like my Pro S3 would have to be longer, like an extra 3mm longer. My Tiny S3 would have to be longer. Everything would have to change. But if I go the other one, what I want to do, I want to actually get the manual for this one. Hang on. Products. Their website's very fancy but very slow. So there's a whole different set of antennas in the range, right? So like this one here can do 800. So this one's the same size but thinner, and it can do 800 up to 10 gigahertz. This is the one. This one only does 1.5 to 10 gigahertz. And this one's, yeah, I don't know. This one's designed for Wi-Fi 6E. I don't know whether, like, how well it works for just general Wi-Fi. But if I just go to this, right, I don't want to break the form factor. I mean, my form factor's been the same the whole way through from Tiny Pico. I mean, it got a little bit longer on the Tiny Pico when I added USB-C because it's a much bigger connector. But other than that, all my footprints have remained the same, the form factor, the whole way through. I don't want to change my form factors. And, right, it's a real pain. Where's the manual? Resources. User manual. Let's take a look at the user manual. What the requirements are for layout. So there are stacks of antennas out there, right? And that's a problem. That's not a positive, that's a negative, because how do you pick one? I mean, TDK make a range of antennas. Their prices are reasonable. They have dual band ones, like 2.45. They have single band. I don't know anything about them. Like, you know, and they're not the same footprint. I can't just whack them on. You know what I mean? I'd have to make a whole bunch of prototypes of all different boards and buy a whole bunch of antennas and put them on and try them, and you know what I mean? So, you know, committing to an antenna for one board is one thing, but committing to an antenna for a range of all my boards and then going and changing all of my boards and committing, that's going to take a lot more than just a random pick. What's that, Mark? I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, so can you tell me what that is first? Sorry, I want to... Okay, great. Lots of info. Yeah, so all of their recommended layouts now, see, it's sideways, and even on the side here, it's sideways. Johansson, oh yes, I've looked at some Johansson antennas. The ones I looked at were just too expensive. You always send me Swedish. Why do you always send me Swedish links? I don't speak Swedish. Let me just get this link up in a non-Swedish language. dgkey.com.au. Right, but it's only 2.4 gigahertz, right? So it's not dual band. Where's the data sheet? Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, this is just a fraction smaller than mine at the moment. Typical. They don't say what the virtual SWR is, do they? Okay. And what's their clearance requirement around the board? Sorry, it's a weird layout of their docs. Where's the clearance? Doesn't say what the clearance requirements are. Ooh, 10 millimeters. Oh, that's what they got on their demo board. Yeah. And again, they don't want. So I need a 90-degree rotation of that board, and that's the problem. So if you look here, they all of these boards, all of these antennas now, so I'm just looking for layout, just one second. 5G. So what they want is the entry point for the antenna. I'm not sure if you can see here. Hey Kevon, how you doing? So if you look here, they want the entry point coming in to here, which is do I have that picture still up? Which is coming into this section here, right? And they want that on the outside, so I can't go from the chip to that where this pad here is on the outside of the board or is at the top of the board. They want it the other way around. They want the antenna feed to be at the end of the antenna, not the start of the antenna. Which means that there's no possible place I can lay it out on my board. There was another document I saw, or maybe I missed it, that had more layout information on it. But you see, pin 1, that's a mounting pad, and the feed-in pad is pin 4. And that can't be closest to the MCU. That has to be furthest from the MCU. Right, so in the case of my Nano S3, I couldn't do that because my matching network would have to be outside the CAN, which means I can't put a CAN over it, because I can't put a CAN over the antenna. So it's really weird what they've done with these designs. So anything I would have to do to integrate it on my board, I'd have to completely break their layout requirements, and and that's just a massive commitment to go down the road of using antenna to do that. Yes, it's been discontinued. I've been told that, yeah. It's been discontinued. I'm now looking for a new antenna. But there's no drop-in replacement from them, which is frustrating. So it's not a drop-in, there's no drop-in replacement, and there's no, both from a footprint point of view and from a functionality point of view. And it's really infuriating. Now this one here looks like it's a drop-in replacement in terms of the way the pads work, but it's not, because I was taking a look and it's got layout issues. That kind of looks like the bottom of mine, except for these holes. But this explicitly says Wi-Fi 6E. I don't know what's going to happen if it's tried to use for Bluetooth. I mean, the frequency range might be right, but like, they very clearly do not market for anything else. No, it wasn't cost for Ignion. It was a good antenna. I originally chose it when it was Fractus. It was a good antenna. I was quite happy with it. It was easy to integrate. It was. It wasn't the cheapest antenna. It was really easy to pick and place and to mount. It was durable.
Johnny Bergdahl says 2,450 at 18 a 6050E.
Yeah, I just put that in, guys. So 2.4, okay, so the other problem is how these work. Is it one feed-in line or two feed-in lines? See, I don't know yet I don't know how the dual band's going to work on the C5. Is it the C5, C6, C5? ESP32 C5. I have an early data sheet, but they don't mention how that's going to work, whether it's two LNA pins, one for each, or whether it's one and switching. So this has one single entry point, but if it's two LNA pins, I can't use that. Now, there's some antennas have two entry points, one on each end of the antenna, depending which way you feed it in. I thought that too, Amory, and I've asked the question to Ignion, but I'm not sure I agree, because their antennas are what they call virtual antennas. Okay, they're however they work. Okay, I mean, this has a range of 800 to 10600, right? So it's not like when you say, as long as the range and gauge of the frequencies I'm looking at are okay, but the way these antennas work internally, yeah, I need clarification from them, because they're very clear when you go and search on their product thing. I want it for this, or I want it for this. They're very clear which antennas you should pick and you should not pick, right? This one does not appear if you choose I want a Bluetooth antenna, and that has me worried. So there'll be something about its construction or something that maybe it's okay but suboptimal. I don't know. Maybe there could be issues with certification. I don't know. It's again, not something I'm going to risk. See, feed in is on the wrong side. See how they all have feed in the other direction? I can't do that. And I need like this, right? But I need it the other side. And again, if you, like a lot of these, so this doesn't show. So quite often you'll get a layout. Let me show you. So I've spent about a day and a half looking at different antennas already and stuff, and it's really like data sheets for antennas is really messy. You got to contact the manufacturers and get more information. Let me just, I want to show you something. Where's the module hardware design guide? Oh, maybe I can use this. Is it in this? No. So like, I just want to show as an example, like with expressive modules, but I can't find one. I'm trying to find a particular data sheet. It shows you where you should and where you should not put it on the board. Here we go. Right. So like for instance, with their modules, they show that you can put the module here and you can put it here. Yeah, tick and tick. But you can't put it there, there and there. Right? Depending on which side the feed point is on. Or you can put it here and here, but you can't put it here, here and here, because won't radiate properly, right? And that's the same thing. But these manufacturers, these data sheets, like they show you a picture here, and they show you a picture with it here, like this, but they don't say to you, if you flip it and put it on the other side of the board, will it affect the antenna, yes or no? And normally the answer is yes, and they don't want you to do it, but they should specify, this is a yes, this is a no. So, you know what I mean? This seems to need a very big keep out area, which is useless for me. Yep. And that's the problem. You don't know this stuff till you start going through the data sheets. But do they actually list? See, a lot of them don't list a clearance. So I need to actually know a physical clearance, not just a clearance on their test board, because that their clearance they've got here is on their board, right? I want to know clearance, what their minimum clearance is, regardless on any board, because if someone's buying this antenna, they're not buying it to put it on a board that looks like their test board. They're designed to integrate it into their own design, which will be a completely different shape and size than their test board. So where is the actual clearance information? That's what I want to know. But either way, I mean, here, that's 8mm clearance. Well, you know. So I'm already inside my ESP32 chip, if that's the case. So I'd have to add at least 6mm length to my boards to be able to use that to their spec, right? And that 12mm, well, my whole board is only 17mm. So yeah, that would mean I couldn't put my RGB LED. I couldn't put any pads there. I couldn't put the matching network in that space. Hey, Creative Maker, is there anywhere to ask them? Not really. I mean, I'd have to send them my designs and say, hey, can I use my antenna in your design? And the answer is always going to be, right, well, it's going to be out of spec. You can try it and see how it works. You know what I mean? They don't put enough information in their data sheets. What I like about using the Ignion antennas, because they're wide bandwidth, is I could use it like, you know, it would future-proof me. Like something like this would future-proof me for, or whether it's that one or whether it's this one, for multi-band, like dual bandwidth. So I'd be able to stay with the same antenna when new chips come out, or if I move to a different chip, right? If I move to a different manufacturer that has a dual Wi-Fi or it has whatever, right? I mean, I could even use this chip here, this antenna, for LoRa as well. But I mean, that can do 800 above, right? I could use that as a 915 megahertz antenna. Yeah, they don't put enough information on some of these data sheets. Hey, JF. So it's really, really frustrating. Specify the ideal case in the data sheet so they can use it as a club to beat you most of the time. Yeah, right. If I sent my designs to... They actually suggested, like Ignion, the person I'm speaking to, suggested, you know, I could chat with their antenna people. But if I sent my designs to them, they'd be looking at my designs going, yeah, like, that's way out of spec for our antennas. And I'll go, yeah, I know. But, you know, this is how big my board is. Like, I need a solution for my board. See you, Johnny. Oh my God, Johnny's going to work. That is crazy. So the downside of it being a dual or a multi-bandwidth, right, is that you don't get awesome performance at any particular frequency. You get less gain and less efficiency, but you get a much wider range, which is kind of nice. I'm pretty sure Johnny's not going to work at 10 p.m. Are you you're not going to work, are you? Or are you just doing work at home? Hey, Junior Bar. Hello, hello. So I've asked them about clarification of this. I'm waiting to hear back. This might be something I can just drop on. I don't know. The problem with that is, where was it? N02. Is they are quite a bit more expensive than what I'm buying at the moment. I might just buy some. I'm going to stick some in my shopping cart now. Oh God, their website is terrible now. Okay, so I've got some in my cart. That's really funny. Yeah, delete. So I might buy some and then stick them on a board, rematch, and see what they're like. But they did not recommend. Like, they know what antenna I'm using. I sent them a list. These are all my products. I sent them links to them all, so they know exactly what they all are. And they turned around and did not recommend this antenna for my use. So to me, that's a kind of a telling thing. I just registered for school to get me a degree, and I can tell you I'm not going to go into RF. Yeah. Yeah. Wizardry. It's wizardry. Future-proof is fitting a connector. Yeah, not really. Not on my boards. So I need to get onto this quickly, as in I need to start designing. Excuse me. I need to start looking at redesigning the whole suite of boards. So some boards I don't have to redesign. Like right now, it's only the my S3 products I need to worry about, because I'm not going to be looking at certification for any other boards other than my S3 boards. If I certify, because I'm still unsure if I'm going to certify. Yeah, it's always good to get a grounding in RF. Yeah. Excuse me. Hey Dale, how you doing? So I can continue using my current antennas on my older boards, and but then I want to save the antennas I've got for the older boards and not chew through too many of them on my new ones. It's just frustrating because I just committed to production on my new revision of all my S3 boards, and I mean, have panels and stencils coming today, and now I'm going to have to, you know, start looking at revising that again. I mean, it's quite an expensive process to do a revision change, and purchase panels and stencils and everything. Like, I got like over $1,000 worth of S3 board panels and stencils coming today, and that could be end of life already. You know what I mean? Bruce is home, yay. Voltage standing. I thought it was a virtual standing wave ratio. Okay, well, there you go. See, learn something every day. So and if I do change it, I'm going to have to call it a V2. So I've already, here's my tiny S3 V2 P1. See, if you look at where all my components are, like I can't fit one of those other antennas. Like if I'm going to look at clearance, right? So what was it? 10 mil by 12 millimeters. So if I go from here, okay, so that was the clearance. That's the clearance that Johansson antenna wants. Hey Luminator, I don't think anyone pays much attention to the details. Which details? What are we talking about? Sorry. That's really hard to see that color. Hang on. Let's change it. I just want it to stand out. It doesn't really stand out. Anyway, okay, there you go. That's the clearance. Like, I can't do that. Right? And then when I start getting issues on the board and I let them know that my actual clearance is like a quarter, less than a quarter. Yeah, I know you're not being critical, Bruce. Yeah, that's fine. So no one matches their antennas. Like they all just stick a 0 ohm resistor on them, right? And say near enough is good enough. And that's, you know what, that's the thing. Near enough is good enough unless you want to go through certification. Like in my case, I could probably not have the matching network and just put the filtering on to suppress the harmonics. And maybe I'll pass certification, maybe I won't. But to go through that, to spend that type of money, like to spend like 20k US or more, because I got 4 boards that would have to go through certification, right? What about 2 footprints for the antenna, one on the front? No, you can't pass the antenna through the substrate. You can't do that. And you can't have pads on the bottom of the board underneath the antenna area. It's got to be completely clear. So yeah, doing a 2 footprints won't work. That'll interfere with the antenna's functionality and
Super
chat! Thanks, Kevin. Come looking to downsize a component, wouldn't want to upgrade to more clearance requirements. Weird they did this. Well, no, well then Ignion's new antennas have got less clearance. That one was the Johansson. That one we're just looking at from Johansson, that would be the clearance for Johansson, right? The clearance for the Ignion really should be, whoops, what did I just do? Why is it deleting it? Am I on delete? No, anyway, it doesn't matter. The clearance for the Ignion should be, wait, why is that not drawing? Okay. Should be this, like 5 here. Like they want 5 millimeters on this one. Or is that on the small one? Hang on. Oh, so it gets confusing. Right. Sorry. So this one is like no clearance, which would be ideal for me because I already have minimal clearance here, right? I've already got a clearance issue on my boards. If you look at the ground layer, that's well under spec for their antenna. So their new one would work really well here. But the layout is wrong. I can't feed it in from this side. Like that goes completely against their layout. Like their layout is either that way, where the feed in is over here, or it's like this. They want the antenna here. And I can't do that. Into a bad corrected no antenna could happen. Could mount a small PCB with the antenna on top of the main. I'm not going to answer that question, Dave. Just have a think about what you just asked. From a feasibility point of view, from a production point of view, from a cost point of view, from a form factor point of view, from a manufacturing point of view, from a user interaction point of view. Like, yeah. So this is how they want that antenna to work, unfortunately. Like this. Like, I can't do that. I mean, I'd have to... The antenna would have to be over here. Right? I'd have to make this thing... at least 4 millimeters longer. The advantage of that would be, think of all of the extra things I could stick on the board. Yay! How would what matter? Emery, sorry, what was that in regards to?
Super chat!
Thanks, Crazy Roops. Buy something that will make me smile. So I'm 5. Is that a pound symbol? I'm 5 pounds towards my Juki RS R1 RS1R. Yay! Only 295,000 pounds to go. That would make me smile. No, thank you. The fact it's turned one way or another. Well, yeah, absolutely it does. They design their antennas to be optimal in certain PCB positions and certain orientations. And anytime you use them differently, you're going to compromise on something to do with the antenna. So, not having enough clearance will compromise the efficiency or the radiation pattern of the antenna. To have it in the wrong orientation for the feed-in line could, again, affect its radiation and pattern, and you know what I mean? Like it could narrow a certain direction or widen a certain direction. I mean, that's RF, right? I mean, that's a significant size increase in the board. But I could get more pins on it. Yay! Yeah. Stemmer ports everywhere. Yeah, I could fit a stemmer on here. But yeah, I don't want to increase the length. And my Pro S3 is even worse. Like, yeah, I'd have to make that longer. I couldn't do it on the Feather S3. There's no room on the Feather S3. So, yeah. Like, I physically can't change the size of the Feather S3 because then it's no longer a Feather format. Which is why I like their little one. But the little one has that same problem. You see where the feed-in line is? Now, I could try to do it. I mean, I could... So it's 3 by 2 by 0.8. 3... by 2. So I have some of these antennas on the way, these little ones. I just got some anyway. And I've got some of the other ones on the way. So this is the size of the antenna, the new one, the little one, right? So I could technically fit that antenna on. But I'd have to move my matching network. Oh no. All the way over to here. And this antenna still wants a clearance. They wanted a 5mm clearance. I don't have a 5mm clearance on this. I mean, that's not 5mm. So that's going to dramatically affect it. Hey, Moss. Psst. No, this is the one. The little one is the 101. This thing here, that's the 101. This one here is just my regular one. This would be the equivalent of the NN02-201 as a footprint. My schematics are showing. Okay. The RF gets older, the wavelength shrinks just like the rest of us. That's actually quite funny. So this would all be dead space because I'd need my matching network to be all the way over here. Oops. Right, whatever. And then I basically can't use any of this space because it's my feed-in line. Wasn't too nerdy, but this is not a schematic. This is my layout. Now my schematic's showing. There you go. Is that too nerdy? A separate antenna PCB. No, this is... No. Oh, just a footprint of my current antenna. So this isn't really going to work because firstly, I lose all of this space anyway. All of that here would have to stay clear for the antenna and the feed-in line and the matching network. And I'm still way out of spec on the 5mm here. Like, realistically, I'd need to lose that pin, which changes the footprint, right, and form factor. So it really only leaves me with an antenna of this orientation and to suck it and see how it goes, right? Or to find a smaller antenna. But as I said here, when you go smaller, doesn't mean, like, this is smaller. This is 6x2 instead of 7x3. So it's you know, 1mm all around smaller, but they want a massive clearance area. And I can't do it. Like, their minimum clearance area is twice the size. Well, from what I can tell, they don't actually document it. They show it in a picture, right? Is twice the size of what the Ignion one is. Bung it in and see what happens. Sure, but I've got to buy a whole bunch of antennas and find out, right? So, I mean, this looks promising from a drop-in point of view. And maybe I can just get away with it. I don't know. I should have bought some already. I could have had them here in a couple of days. I'll buy some today and I'll get them by Monday. Could you rotate ESP 90 degrees clockwise so that the antenna pin is at the top? Yeah, that would be a pretty... that'd be horrific. Not easily. I mean, this is quite a complex routing, and not on my Nano. I couldn't. Like my Nano S3, like, it is just insane. What do you mean, vertical antennas? They do, but I can't put an antenna on my board that is twice as high as the USB connector. Firstly, someone's going to knock it off, and yeah, I just don't like them. I think someone had a board with one of them on there. Oh, I think some of the M5 stacks have them. What's GUR? Yeah, it won't really help me. Won't work with all my form factors. Turn your PCB 90 degrees. Sure. So interestingly, all of the new Ignion antennas, though, can actually be placed here, which is new. They can go in the middle of a board. Like, if I was doing a new design from scratch, I'd find that quite appealing. Obviously, it won't fit my current form factors, but I would find that quite appealing because that would allow you to put header pins all the way along, would allow you to put things around and just leave clearance in the middle. Unfortunately, you can't have it hang over the edge like that. That'd be cool. Could the designers maybe give you an estimate on efficiency loss percentage on your design, or are you going to test that? I don't know how I'd be able to test efficiency loss because I'd have no way of detecting the starting efficiency. You know what I mean? Like, efficiency loss against what? Like, what would my baseline be? Hey, Milos. You know, I don't know what I'd baseline it against. So, for me, it's not so much about what my loss is. It's just how well does it perform. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even need an antenna. I could just leave the antenna off. It still works. Like my Tiny Pico UFL. My Tiny Pico, so it's got a, on the back, there's a UFL connector instead. So for an external antenna. I put these on the test jig without putting an antenna on it. They work fine. My router that I'm testing against is downstairs all the way back in the corner. And yeah, it works great. Oh, I forgot to show you something. Wow, through all of this, I got distracted. We're taking a break from this for a second. Look at my production line. This might flicker black in a moment. Just letting you know. Sometimes it resets itself. So my line is set up, not working. You have a big solder blob. Yeah. So, well, I told you it went black. It'll come back. So I've got everything in line. It's all had a first pass level, meaning that I can push a PCB all the way through from one end to the next end. Look, we've got color now as well, because who knows what's going on with this camera. I started playing with the stencil printer. I only got a manual for it yesterday, which was in Chinese, which I had to get translated, which is an interesting read now, like when you go through Google Translation. Yeah, I don't know why it went black and white, but it's color now. Where's the rubber fish? Well, no, the rubber fish is to slap Ignion across the face. I think you need to put motivational cat posters on the wall. I don't know. On the wall where? So, yeah. I now have to run air to everything. I've started cutting up all the air hose and getting stuff ready. I wasn't able to do that until the new compressor was in, which is in. There is actually a stencil in that stencil printer, but I'm still trying to work out how to actually set everything up behind the pick and place. No, I need to put like a big dartboard, big target. I don't know. Anyway, I need to put it on the pick and place. Hello, Dr. Nick. But anyway, that's my line as it is at the moment. I still have to solve many things. I've still got too many single point of failures, like the pick and place machine and the oven. So the line's going to grow in length quite considerably still. But yeah, it looks better than it's performing right now. Thanks, Dutch Taurus. Yeah, well, it's not purring and flashing lights yet, because so far I can still only use the pick and place and the conveyor and the oven. But yeah, it's getting there slowly. I had Peter Homan came past on Sunday to give me, I don't think he's in chat right now, to give me a hand, just lining stuff up and lifting things and leveling. We got it pretty close, but I need to go out and buy a machinist level. The level that I'm using right now aren't accurate enough. I mean, it looks to the eye, it looks like it's all straight, but I need a bit more. I need to dial in a bit more. It's quite difficult to get machines level, four corners level for the machine and the exact right height and orientation. So what actually happened was I got it all set up. I did the first pass myself, and it was all fairly level. It was all pretty good. And then I walked around the side. I was at like the door, looking down for something, and I realized that the whole line was straight, but it was on an angle. So, oh my God, because none of the machines are the same width. So you can't just look down one side and see everything lined up straight against a straight line, because they all protrude at different size, at different amounts. So I did get it all kind of straight to each other, but the whole thing was, it was on, like, it was quite a lot, like about, 8 degrees or 9 degrees. So I redid it, and it was like really hot on the weekend. It was 30 degrees on Saturday and 33 degrees on Sunday. I was trying to pick and place on Saturday. When I say try, I could only use 4 out of the 8 nozzles, and I still had to hand place a whole bunch of parts and fix a whole bunch of parts. And so in here with the oven going, even with my air conditioning on, it was easily 48, 49 degrees in here. And I was just like sweating like a pig, trying to pick and place, frustrated with the machine. On Sunday, yeah, in the morning I went to pick and place, and that's when my second compressor cracked. So the air entry, where the air hose gets connected, to the thing, it just completely cracked, which means just air gushing out. And it's cast iron, it can't be fixed, unfortunately. Well, not easily. So, anyway. But compressor's been solved temporarily now, which is good, as in I've got a new one. I still need a backup. I need to either fix the other one, the old one, or I need to just buy a second compressor, a backup compressor. Because I can't, if I have no air, I have no production. If I have no pick and place, I have no production. If I have no oven, I have no production. You see this trend thing happening here right now? It's a bit frustrating. Yeah. So, but antennas. I'm going to buy these other ones. I'm actually going to do it right now. Check out. So these are the NN02-201. I'm going to buy some anyway. Whatever. By the time I hear back from Ignion, it could take days. Oh, that's interesting. My chat window is stopped. I can't see latest chat. Excellent. Let me close that and reopen it. I wondered why there was no chat. Oh, look at that. I've missed about 30 messages. So better move workshops. God, we're talking about the painting over murals. Measure one, smooth 5 times. Hey, Jack Film Tube. Yeah, it's measure one, smooth 50 times. And we're talking about moving, like, the stencil printer is 1 ton. The pick and place machine is like 400 kilograms. I've got a pallet jack, but it's really hard, one person. It's hilarious. Like, I had to rotate the stencil printer like 1 millimeter. I'm on a pallet jack. I'm going to lift it up, right? And I've got to rotate it, but you can't just rotate it because you've got to move it forward, backward like this, right? And so I'm kind of nudging it a little bit. Catch you later, Richard. Have a good day at work. So I'm nudging it a little bit, but I need to check around the side to see if it's lined up. And I can't reach around. So one person, so I'd nudge it a bit, and I try to hold it with my leg, and I'm looking around, and it looks okay. By the time I come back, it's shifted again. I let it down, and it's out. Like, it was just one person, one pallet jack trying to align all this stuff. It was hilarious. Like, I should have made I could have made a comedy video out of it. Hang on, I'm just still trying to check out. I got distracted. Okay, check out immediately. Oh, log in. Yes, I'm logging in. Well, I did on Sunday. I had someone come down on Sunday to help. Maybe useful, maybe not. Richard sent me a DM. I'll have a look. Tennis select a hand, you get single pan, the clearance is less. Yes. 5.7 is better for clearance, Richard. I don't know if you're still there or not. 3.86 by 8. But it's only 2.4, yeah. So that future-proofs me for these boards, but I'd still have to change antenna again for a dual band, but I can look at doing that. Sorry, I'm still trying to... I'm getting distracted all the time. Will these be purchased and resold in their purchased form? No. Every time I gotta... Why do they make me fill this in? Other. Continue. Sorry, I'm just trying to check out. Otherwise I'll forget to do this. UPS. Continue. Yeah, with the Benny Hill music, it would have been hilarious. It would have been hilarious, but not so much for me, because it was really hard to do. It was very frustrating. But I did it, but it wasn't straight. Then I fixed it Sunday morning. When I realized I couldn't pick and place on Sunday because of the compressor, I fixed it. Okay, I've ordered those parts. Yay. So what number is this one? Hang on, 2. Let's have a look at this antenna without the PDF. So Richard found this one. No? So not the... Oh. That's not the code. That's not the code. Right. So this is only a 2.4. It's in line with the pricing I need. And apparently this has a much smaller clearance. Oh, wait. Sorry, I wasn't even on the right screen. So it's pretty high return loss. Has a feed in the correct direction, which is good. And they say the clearance is quite small. So that's actually pretty cool. And I just put that other order in, idiot, and I should have bought some of these. Well, I don't have a PCB I can put it on. So I have to get new PCBs as well. Hey Ron, if my match is correct, we should get another dump. Oh, maths is correct. We should get another dump of the receiver. You talking about that? Yep, it just happened. Well done. But it was nice and quick, and it wasn't as loud as it normally is because it's mostly closed. So the problem is, what do I do? Like, okay, I could buy some of these antennas and try that, but every single thing I try is a new PCB. So I need to get, what, 5 different Tiny S3 versions designed and made and sent out, and you know what I mean? And then how do I compare them all? Wi-Fi. Okay, cool. I'm going to take a look. In fact, I live not far from the DigiKey warehouse. Oh, cool. Can you go... No, okay. You can go pick up my parts for me. Bit hard for you to send them over here though. It's a bit far away. Like I don't want to just go, you know, spend $400 or $500 US on stacks of different PCBs, and then how do I compare them? Time to open unexpected PCB fact. No, thank you. I'm never going to do that. Never, ever, ever going to do that. Messy stuff. This does look potentially, I mean, yeah. Wait, how big is it? I didn't look at how big it was. 5 by 2. Okay, so it's smaller. Smaller than my current one. Kevin won the internet. Ah. So yeah. Also, for the first time in a while, I'm going to be unable to make boards soon because I'm almost out of PSRAM, and I've ordered more, and I'm in a queue, and it could be 8 to 12 weeks to get more, which is a little frustrating because pretty much every one of my boards uses PSRAM except for the Tiny S2 and the Feather S2 Neo. All my boards use PSRAM, and when I'm out, I can't make any more boards. And there's no other, well, there is another brand RAM I can get that is currently almost 3 times the price, and not in fantastic supply. I don't really want to go down that road because my bombs can't really wear that. Yeah, the chip shortage is still a thing. You want to work at DigiKey, just get a discount on parts. Yeah. I don't know. Just, and you save on delivery, right? You should be able to just walk there and pick them up. Building and selling electronics seems like a casino. The more you play, the more you lose. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, I've had another run of bad luck, clearly, with things working or not working. But it seems to be a. It's not really like a gamble. I mean, there's so much out of your control, right? There's only so many things that you can do to protect yourself from all the things that could get in the way of being able to, you know, make stuff and sell stuff. You know, you basically need an unlimited cash supply. I'm not talking about, you know, going out and paying, you know, $500,000 for pick and place. I'm talking about, you know, like if I had hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting in the bank, I wouldn't run out and buy myself a Juki necessarily. You know, I probably wouldn't have changed any of my purchasing decisions, but I would have to, you know, but it's just an ongoing, you know, have 2 pick and place machines in case one breaks down, have 2 ovens in case one breaks down, 2 compressors in case one breaks down. I don't need 2 stencil printers because I can always fall back to my manual stencil printer. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you can't just, it's not like a computer where, okay, my computer died, I can go to the Apple store, I can go to whatever, PC computer shop, I can get a new computer today, right? I might have to change the type of computer, but I can get a new computer today and I can be back up and running in 24 hours, right? So your pick and place goes down, well, and you don't have another pick and place machine, well, you're talking at what? I think lead time, like if I wanted to buy it, I'm not buying one, but if I wanted to buy a Juki, I want to buy one. If I wanted to buy a Juki today, it's like 12 to 16 weeks before it would ship. And then, you know, 90 days to get it here. You know, if I was crazy enough to buy another Neoden today, it could be 12 weeks before I've got it. So it's not like, you know, I can be back up and running quickly again. It's like it kills you. That's a business killing thing. And they're all external factors that I've got no control over. And then you look at things like parts. So I thought I gave myself enough time for getting more PS RAM, but I wasn't expecting such a long lead time. The last 3 times I bought PS RAM, even during the silicon shortage, I was quoted 2 to 4 weeks, and they basically shipped in 2. Now I'm being quoted, as I said, like 8+ weeks, and being told that I'm not going to get them before 8 weeks, and that's a killer. Well, if I had all the money in the world, I wouldn't be in here. I'd be in a bigger place, and I'd have 2 lines set up, and one of them would just sit there for redundancy. That's if I had all the money in the world, right? No, if I had all the money in the world, I wouldn't be doing this. What am I talking about? If I had all the money in the world, I'd be sitting on a beach. No, probably not on a beach. I don't know. I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd be bored out of my brains. I'd still be wanting to do something, but I'm not sure I'd be building electronics. Like, I'm not sure this is a sane business to be in, really. But that's okay, because I'm not sure I'm sane. So it kind of, you know... my first job at 15 years old was working at Maplin. Oh, cool. £20 per day was spent. Oh, right. Yeah, you started it. So I thought you were getting paid £20 per day. No, you spent £20 per day in the store every week. Yeah, that'd be cool. How's the bamboo? The bamboo is going well, except I was told that someone else, their bamboo died already. Apparently there's an issue with how they route the wires for the heat bed, and it's wear and tear on the wires, and they get stripped, apparently. I'm a bit worried now. Oh, you were paid £20 a day. Yeah, I get it was some time ago, but wow. I thought you were saying you spent. Oh, you got paid £20 per day, and you spent £20 per day. You spent all your money? Is that what you're saying in Maplin? Right. I get it. Sorry, I get it, Max. Yeah. So even if I could, like, I can't go to Espressive and go, hey, if I pay twice the price or 3 times the price, could I have them faster? Well, maybe. I haven't tried, but I can't afford. I'm still wearing all of the costs, the bomb increase costs. I mean, I upped all my prices like a year and a half ago by like $1, which didn't really cut it. And you know, I haven't changed my prices still. I mean, some of the parts I'm still paying 3 or 4 times the price for that I used to. As things are becoming more available, prices aren't dropping yet. Not on the parts I need, anyway. Where do you see the market going with my products? I know you said that orders are down. Any change to that? Orders improved a little bit. Funny enough, I got some orders in the week my pick and place died, which wasn't good timing. I actually managed to get them out yesterday, like some reseller orders. Things have picked up a little bit, but I'm down 40% on this time last year. That was November. I think October I was down 35%. September I was down like 70% on last year. Like it literally took a dive, you know, about 2.5 months ago. But like it's fine. Like I'm not. If all this equipment failure and stuff wasn't happening, like I'm not panicking at all about anything. And where it's all going, where it's heading, I don't know. You know, sales have always kind of been up and down and all over the place, and you know, everything evens itself out, I guess. But there are a couple of concerns. Like these are the only Reflow Master Pros I've got left. I've got one in stock downstairs, and this is it. So what is there? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 7. So it's got a bit more soldering to do on these to finish them. I've got 7 Reflow Master Pros left, and then I have to make some decisions on possibly do a redesign of the board, or something, because like there's one part on here I can't get, which is the soft switch IC, and the mini modules. I did get some more. They were double the price that I paid last time, because I'm not going to commit to buying 6,000 at a time. So maybe I should take the module off and just go directly to the board, which means I need an antenna on the board. So that's like I've, you know, I need to solve that, because they're not quick to make. It's, yeah. Is that reseller only sales, or does not include contracts like Swarm? Well, that was only that Swarm stuff was a one-off, and prior to that they were buying Feather S2s, and they've stopped buying Feather S2s as well, because they're now integrating all that stuff directly on their boards, so that's fine. What? Your business is down 90%. Ouch. My problem is, you know, sales are down. That's okay. I'm not complaining. Like, you know, I'm not starving. My family aren't starving at the moment. But my expenses have been, like, horrific since I moved in here. I mean, apart from the moving cost and my rent every month and everything else, I mean, that compressor purchase on Monday, that was $7,500 of bang, gone. Had no choice. Totally unexpected outlay of money. You know, it's stuff like that, you know. You know, for the last 3 weeks, I've been hand assembling boards, like hand assembling panels or half assembling panels. I still can't get faster than 2 hours on a panel, fully hand assembling. And I couldn't believe I was sitting there hand assembling panels again, you know, with a factory and a production line down there and my pick and place not working. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm about to jump a serious amount in January. You're about to jump up or down? Yeah, it's the unforeseen. Yeah, the pick and place has got issues, and it's ongoing Fixing is ongoing. Couldn't do it. I'd be dead in a week. I tell you what, I've felt more stressed this last like 3 weeks than I think I ever have. I'm generally okay with stress, and you know, I have a whinge. I know, whatever, but I just pick myself up and off I go again. You know, I don't ever give up. But this last few weeks, I thought about it a few times. Like Yaz and I had a serious chat about potentially winding it up. Hey Ray, how you doing? Because it was just like the challenges I've got going forward now to be able to continue manufacturing, which is pivotal for my business, for me to manufacture myself. Like for me to prevent this issue right now from happening again, I need to outlay another $100,000. And I can't tell you if, you know, like getting the $100,000 isn't a problem. I don't have it, but it isn't a problem. I mean, I've got amazing credit history. I don't owe any money. I mean, apart from my house mortgage, which we're desperately trying to pay off as quick as possible, I don't owe anything. So I can borrow, no problem. I can lease, I can borrow. I mean, borrowing right now, ridiculously low rates, not a problem. I can get my hands on money. The issue is, can I justify spending another $100,000 on top of what I've just spent to stay in business? You know, where's it going? I don't know. You know, I keep making boards. People keep buying them, which is great. You know, I want to continue diversifying my range of stuff, but I don't have time because I spend most of my time trying to just catch up, and you know, for reasons beyond my control. It's a real struggle. Like it's starting to take its toll a bit, to be honest. Cricklewood? I don't know what Cricklewood is. Busy at work creating Raspberry Pico managed 8 analog in 8 PWM outs for LED strips. Cool. That sounds cool. Watford Electronics. I have no idea who that is. So to answer your question, that's across the board. So reseller and, you know, sales off my website and stuff. Like things are generally down. But it's impossible to kind of work out why. I mean, obviously economics around the world, people worried about financial crisis, whatever. You know, like with stuff like, you know, Adafruit and Primaroni and my other resellers, it's not necessarily that their orders are down. It's just that they order when they need. You know, they don't always order the same months. You know what I mean, and the same quantities and whatever. So overall for the year, it's probably down a lot less than the last 3 months. So there would have been some months early in the year where it was better than the previous year. Which is fine. And as I said, it evens itself out. And from a financial point of view, like an income point of view, it hasn't stressed me at all, the fluctuation, other than it's kind of interesting and weird and hard to predict what to do, you know. So like I just ordered another reel of Pico D4s because my tiny Picos have been selling better than I expected over the last few months. You know, for a while, like sales on those almost completely fell off, and now they've picked up again, and now I don't have enough parts. So, you know, just committed to another reel of D4s. There's another 2,000 D4s. I'm sure I'll sell another 2,000 products with a D4 on it over the next year, not a problem. But of course, the price has gone up 40%. So, you know, I don't want to raise my prices. So I'll just keep them the same. I'll have to wear the difference on the BOM cost. It's just, yeah, annoying. There's always just things popping in. There's a challenge. There were an electronic store in the UK. There's been a lot of electronic stores that have come and gone over the years. It's changed quite a lot. Ambit International, J&N Bull. Are they You're reminiscing about different stores. Hey, digital things. Sounds like you need to diversify your product range as a priority to lower the risk. How much to invest to free up? Well, right now I've got no time for R&D because I'm busy fighting fires or, busy trying to ship orders. Like the primary order I shipped like 2 weeks late because I had to hand assemble a heap of stuff. The order I sent to Adafruit yesterday was only half of the order because that's all I could get done. So, stuff like that is just, it's infuriating for me. And I still don't find time. But the flip side of that is digital things is I could, let's say I increase my range of products, diversified. I still have to make them all. Like all of a sudden I'm juggling components and stock levels and production for twice as many things. I mean, that's a burden. Like it's already a burden for me trying to, juggle it all. I mean, Peter Cable Tie was here on Friday doing some stuff for his work. And when that all finished, he came up, like he was sitting up here, we were just chatting. And he's sitting here sticking labels on bags for me. Like he's literally putting labels and everything on bags for Adafruit for an order while we were chatting. Like, yeah. You can call the ones for primarily bespoke. No, I don't want to, I reckon it would freak people out if they thought they were handmade. Yeah. So I've got, apparently on Friday I'll have new air stuff for the pick and place machine coming here. As I said, I've got the 2 new lighting modules, but I can only get 1 installed, which fixed the back. So I can actually now pick and place from the back left-hand feeders, yay. But I can't now pick and place from the front at all until I solve the those screws that are stuck in there. I've pivoted in life before, but it seems like you pick the fields with the most challenges. I do, don't I? I never said game dev was bad. I got out of game dev because it turned into something that wasn't about entertaining people. It was about getting them to click. It was about retention. It was about monetization and retention rather than entertainment. And that's when I said I'd had enough. Hey, Quixotic Geek. Is a pick and place fixed? No, it's not. It's a work in progress. I'm going to have to drill out the screws. I can't see any other way of doing it. The problem is there are cables directly on the other side of the screws, which is why I can't use heat. I couldn't use heat to get rid of the lock, to, loosen the Loctite, because there are the actual cables for the lighting module is directly along the other side of the metal to where the screws are. So my problem is if I damage this unit, then I'm really dead in the water, because there's no way I'm going to get a replacement camera and housing and everything else from Neodyne. It's just not happening. Could you just cut a slot and use a flat screwdriver? Possibly, but what I need to get confirmation first from EM Logic that I have permission to destroy this thing, because I need to know that if I do destroy it and I damage it, they're going to give me a replacement. So what actually happened was Neodyne, so EM Logic pressured Neodyne into sending me stuff. They sent me a new lighting module, just 1 instead of 2, idiots. And it's the wrong lighting module. It's for a new revision. It doesn't fit. Like the screw holes, the mounting holes are in a completely different place. Like it looks different. The whole light structure on it's different. So like I said to EM Logic, like, what the hell? And so they actually pulled out their lighting modules off their N8 that they've got in their warehouse and sent them to me. Well, yeah, that doesn't help me, because that's still 12 weeks to get one, Bruce. So what do I do for 12 weeks? and I still need this one fixed. And how? Where do I get parts from? So yeah, it'll be in writing. So I want the thumbs up from them that if I do any damage to this thing trying to get it apart, that they will take theirs out of their machine and send it to me. The problem is Ramsey from Logic is traveling in Canberra at the moment for work, and he's not back until next Monday. And he's patchy to get in touch with at the moment because he's in and out of meetings all the time. What? The clock is still going and keeping good time. Oh, okay. Right, for long term, I need a backup. Right, so I've already asked Ramsey how much does he want for their demo N8 that's sitting in their warehouse. They use it just at shows and stuff, right? I'm waiting for him to get back to me with a price on that, and that would be my best option. Unfortunately, to get the second machine gives me redundancy, but I'll lose my dirty area. I won't have any room downstairs for a dirty area, which is frustrating, but I'll have to do that. Raspberry Pico and Pico W seem to be easy to get. Yeah, I need, oh, hello, Johnny. I need CM4 modules. They're not easy to get. Could you ever expect this level of support if you didn't have YouTube? I don't know. Like, I'm a little over having to call people out on my YouTube channel to get some action done. That's frustrating. Or call them out on a forum or whatever. Like, I feel like that's just, ridiculous. And the rest. It's gonna cost me minimum. I worked it out. The minimum I could get away with to give myself redundancy for my entire manufacturing process, minimum is going to be another $70,000. That would give me redundancy in everything that's a single point of failure. So I've already got redundancy for my cleaning, my boards, and I've already got redundancy for my drying of my boards. I have redundancy of my stenciling. Conveyors doesn't matter because I can manually move from one machine to the next, not a problem. The key things are the pick and place machine and an oven. And so with the oven, it really depends on what I'm going to buy. Like, I'd have to either go neodyne again to get something that will fit in the space I need, that'll whatever, or I need to get some big, massive industrial industrial oven that I have no room for. That doesn't clone me. That just means that at any point, my downtime will be minimal. My downtime would be anywhere from a day to hours, right? Or from hours to a day. If I had both pick and place machines on the one line, my downtime would be 10 minutes, right? If I didn't have them both on the line, if one was off to the side, my downtime would be swapping it out, getting the files over, reloading all the feeders, and off I go. So, okay, not 10 minutes for wheels in line. Like, if I had to move all the feeders over and whatever, blah, blah, I could be down 2 hours, right? But then you need to factor in the price for the unit next door. Oh, no. The one on this side is too small and the one on this side's owned and too big. I could probably get... Yeah. Look, I can fit a line with, so the Iron 6 would become my backup oven. I'd put a different oven on the line, 2 pick and places. I can fit it all in there. I lose my dirty space, my dirty area. I've got no place for the laser and for, all my tools, benches, drill presses, whatever else. What? Sometimes in our business we found that our backup had broken and no one told anyone. Yeah, no, that's... I mean, if my backup broke, I'd know because it's only me, right? So I'm just reading back through the chat, see if I miss anything. Single entity of non-function is Sion. I mean, Sion can always sleep less. What? Can you take your boards to the local subway and use their oven? Yeah, maybe not. I definitely wouldn't want to eat there anymore after they stuck my boards in the oven. You know, and then I still have to solve other things. You know, got to solve the V&A situation. I might just have to go and send my boards out and get someone out, like pay someone else to match them. For now, that would be cheaper than me trying to invest in a different V&A. So lots of things to solve there as well. Ooh, someone's offered to bring down some tools to see if I can get the screws fixed. The issue is the screws are destroyed now. Like I can show you, like it actually, like my hex tools, like it's yeah, it was insane. Like the anyway, I like the idea of cutting through and trying to make it a square, like, you know, like a flat screw thing. But they're very short head screws. They're stainless steel, very short head. I'm going to do damage to the casing of the thing. I just want to confirm that it's okay for me to do that first. That's my best bet. I couldn't do that, like, I couldn't message last night. It was already too late. I wouldn't have got an answer yet. Tried the rubber band method. What? 2 air compressors that cycled, one dies, but no one hears the alarm somehow. Oh, really? I heard it when mine cracked on Sunday. That was pretty spectacular. It was pick and placing, and then all of a sudden, it wasn't. And it was, parts were just dropping everywhere. And it went from hearing the pick and place machine to hearing as air was just escaping the crack on the pick and place, on the compressor, and the compressor was just going full bore and wouldn't turn off, and you could smell the oil, not the oil, but the metal heat. It was insane. Like it was just, I thought it was going to explode. That was pretty crazy. The Allen key stripped the insides, and it stripped the round bit around the Allen key. Hang on, I'll show you. I'll go get it. One second. So I'm sure if you're going to be able to see it. Look at the top of the look at the top of that. Like that is just, and then I can't see. Look what it's done. It's just chewed. Like I had this in, yeah, and I was twisting it, like almost this whole stem was twisted 45 degrees, and I couldn't, it just wouldn't budge. I got the other ones out. Your hex head is destroyed. My whole brain is destroyed. And there's a screw removal bit. Is that such a thing? I mean, I can go to the hardware store and epoxy this in to open it. Then what do I do with this? Tiny screw, extract a bit. If the head breaks off, I'm screwed. Then I have to drill through it. And as I said, there's cables, really important cables directly underneath. The screws are 2.5mm hex. An Unbraco quality hex set. Hey Peter. Well, yeah, this is, kin chrome. Maybe not the best, but really, I mean, Jesus. If this can't do it, 2.5mm heads. But the screws are like they're stainless steel, but I tell you what, talk about soft metal, really. I mean, you can clearly see that the it was in, like, it's not like I just didn't have it in all the way and it wasn't like locked into place. Like you can see the depth of it. My God, like it was just like, why the hell have they Loctite? Like this is just, it's metal into metal to hold this thing together. Why the freaking hell have they Loctited all the screws? Oh, it drives me nuts. Have screw movers for those that go on the drill, but does it leave the bit of the screw inside? The head is in place, but it's stripped inside. Like it's you can't, like if I put this in there now and try to turn it, it just turns. Like the head, you know what I mean? Get tool bits called easy out if there's still a hole. I'm doing it wrong, yeah. File the head off and press them out. How would I press, what do you mean press them out? Easy out. What is it? Easy out extractor tool set. Okay, maybe I can. So what is this? How does this work? Right, that's screwing into the screw, right? Yeah, I'm looking at this here. Bit that drills into the head of the screw instead. The hex drills into the head of the screw. It's a reverse thread. Ah, so as it drills, it pulls it out. Is that what it does? Yeah, 2.5's, or for the head's pretty small. I mean, the screws are, yeah. Oh, 2.3 star rating. Got the screw out. Impact driver saved me many times with stuck screws. Okay, I mean these are really small screws. Is it gonna be able to drill in and grab it
Alan
enough?
Madsen says, is there a bolt on the other side?
No, there's not. But there's like, you know, it's metal. It's like metal in metal. Okay, what is the rubber band method and what's a Todd bit? Easy out, you don't drill, you tap it with a hammer, which you probably don't want to do. Yeah, I gotta be really careful. Like there's glass inside, there's cameras and PCBs and glass and everything inside this thing. Shall I pull it out of the pick and place and I'll show you? Maybe I'll do that. Okay, I'm going to switch to the other view. You're not going to be able to hear me, but you'll be able to see me. I'm going to climb under the pick and place machine and get this camera out. Okay, so I'm going to switch to the downstairs view. I'll be back in a few minutes and I'll show you what it is. Okay. Did you get to see any of that? Did that even work? So this is the lighting module. Hey, Mike. All right, so it's literally just like this, which sits at the top. So this is the camera module. Sits at the top, and the camera is down the bottom, and the cable goes down the side and plugs into the bottom. And see this glass that goes up on an angle like this down the side and is attached to these two here and these two here, and they're the two, these four need to come out. And so I can't bang, I can't tap, and there's glass here, and there's a cable that runs all the way down for the lighting module and other stuff. These are lots of LEDs for lighting. 3 banks of LEDs. So I can't, like I can unscrew this, I can't get my hand all the way down. If I unscrew from the bottom, I can't get in from there because that's where the PCB with the camera and everything is. And obviously I can't get in through here. I can't undo the screws and get the glass out because it's screwed all the way through, right? So, I'd love to get the whole thing replaced, as if that's ever going to happen. So what I need to do is, I need to get these two out. So I unscrew the top. I need to get these two out and these two out, and unscrew these two, which allows me to slide this up. So I can get inside, and then I need to take off these two to get rid of the clamp that holds the cable, so I can replace this. So I can't bang this, and I can't put heat on it. There's cables there. Right, so my option is to cut a slot. So which ones are they? These two. So these two are just, they're completely screwed now. Like they're just
Cable tie says gotta go, see ya later, Cian.
Catch you later, cable tie. Good luck, hope to hear from you soon. So you see this, like just, see that? Completely destroyed. So there's no other way to get into this thing. Like it's solid metal. It's, you know, nicely constructed. But why the hell do they Loctite all the screws? I get it, the machine vibrates and whatever else, but it's just not necessary. They could have designed it in a way without Loctite. I managed to get all the other screws off, and on the back one,
says try a Torx bit.
I don't have a Torx bit that'll fit. Yeah, I don't have a Torx bit. So I could try cutting, get my Dremel, cut a slot and try to do it. Yeah, no, impact driver I don't think was the right solution. No, I can't.
Exotic Geek says have the voices all been reset?
Yes, they've all been reset. Something broke and it was some type of corruption was making it freeze. I can't grab the head. No, it's a button head. Nothing to grab. Yeah, cutting a slot in the screw. I don't know what type of Loctite or glue, whatever this is. It's either clear or it's black, and it's still sticky. Anyway, yeah. It's on the screen. Do exclamation mark voice and then the name. Can you loosen Loctite with IPA? I don't know. I'd never heard of that before. I have to be careful though. I don't want to get IPA inside. Try cutting slot first, else drill the head off. Slide cover over stubs. Hang on. I can't, no, if I drill the head out, I still can't get this off. Because the screw bit is still in there, into the bracket inside. It's still screwed together. You got to remember, I got this glass. There's glass in here. The glass goes right where the screws are, in between the screws. Well, not in between, but right here. Like there's glass that's touching this side on both sides. So yeah, banging, tapping. I gotta be real. I can't do that. Did you just kill it? I think Quixotic Geek just killed chat. Like side cutters and bite. I can't. It's a button screw. I can't grip. I'm not gonna be able to grip that. Yeah, you did break it. That's why I reset it, so no voices. That's annoying. Hang on. We're gonna have to kill it again. Sorry. That's okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, why the voice thing's doing that, but for some reason I'm gonna have to kind of work out what it is at some stage. It's really low on my priorities, I have to say, though. Like getting production back up. Okay, that should be back up now. Getting production back up is what I really need. When in doubt, give it a clout. Bigger than doubt. Bigger the clout. Yeah.
Quixotic Geek says test.
Test. I'm sorry the voice is a male voice. I apologise. Although the default shouldn't be a male voice. Actually, I don't know. Which one did you set it to before? Okay, maybe try something other than Fiona. Well, Fiona's Scottish, isn't she? Who just set it to Fiona again? Oh no! Why would you do to Fiona again? That just killed it before, and you've done it again. You just killed it again. Too late, you killed it, I think. Yeah, killed it again. Okay. Let's do that again, one more time. Maybe, I don't know. Like, it could just be setting the voice in general is killing it. As I said, I haven't had time to look into it. It's not running. Okay, it's back up running now.
Quixotic Geek says cake.
Jack Film Tube says you.
It's just setting a random one at the start.
Quixotic Geek says cake.
Try setting it to not Fiona. Okay, that's Samantha. Try that.
Quixotic Geek says boo.
There you go. Okay.
Exploring the simulation says weld the Allen key to the.
Okay, so I need to get rid of Fiona. Okay, Fiona's off the list. Except I need to stop it.
Quixotic Geek says, oh, this sounds more like me.
Cool. I need to stop it and restart it to make sure Fiona doesn't get selected. Okay, is it still working? No! Don't. Mike. Don't be silly. I'll have to come over there and smack you over the head. Now you know why they wouldn't send me new cameras, correct? They wouldn't send me new cameras. I mean, this is completely proprietary hardware inside. It's an Ethernet-based camera module with a Raspberry Pi type camera with a lens on it. Like, I love these cameras. They'd be awesome. I could put Ethernet cameras everywhere. But it's using their own proprietary communication protocol, though. Okay, I hear you. Itchy Duck, I hear you. Sorry, I got in Discord a chat going there as well. Have considered welding an Allen key to the screw? I have not. I don't have a welding system. I don't have any epoxy here. I really don't want to epoxy it. If I could, how design. My machine uses a best cam USB 3 jobby. Which call it, I can order a new one myself. Okay, but I wouldn't necessarily call this a horror design, and it really depends. This, yeah, different pick and place machine, different things, whatever else. This wouldn't be a problem if Neodem were prepared to replace parts if they failed, or they just didn't Loctite things. Anyway, that's the challenge. I need to solve this now because I can't pick and place with two different cameras, two different lighting modules, because I have to adjust the lighting parameters to get the back one to work now correctly because it's a new module, or it's a working module, and now the front one doesn't work properly. I have to be careful heating it. There's wires on the other side. Very important wires that will get damaged on the other side of those screws. And there's glass.
Alan Matson says use nail polish to secure screws with.
Once again, I'm not sticking this in a freezer. I'm not going to risk damaging this in any way until I've got permission to do so. And I've got 100% guarantee that I'll be sent a replacement, right? And if I can't be sent a replacement until next week, I will not be attempting anything until next week. So, yeah. Sounds like a design bug. Parameters for the lighting module should be different per camera. Huh? What? Parameters for the what? Why? No, it's. I'm not sure what you mean. I mean, my lighting modules were working. They failed over time. Yeah, but 100 degrees won't be enough to do anything to the Loctite. That's the problem. Yeah, I'm not going to take any advice from you, Mike. I've seen how you renovate a house. How proprietary? Maybe it's super glue proprietary and just lock. What? Maybe it's super glue proprietary and just lock tight. Whatever it is, I can't get the screws off. Well, sure, Mr. Explorer, but they had no problems pulling theirs apart. Core Electronics had a problem pulling theirs apart, but they eventually got there. I had no problems pulling one apart and had no problems pulling 4 out of the 6 screws apart, but 2 of them would not budge, as I said. So, oh, they're glued all the way through. Sorry, if I wasn't clear, when I say they're Loctite, they put glue in the hole and then they screw, the Loctite or glue, whatever else, goes all the way through the thread. Absolutely. Like the other screws, when I get them out, there's like all the way along the thread and the bottom of the head is whatever the adhesive is. Yeah. Like they're not sticking a bit of Loctite on the outside. The whole shaft is Loctited. Loctited. That's not even a word, is it? Yeah, okay, James. So would you like me to kill the stream now to do it? I heard you and everyone else. Cool, okay. I already looked at Bunnings. I'll go get something to drill them out. But the flip side of that is I need to reassemble it again. I can't just have the... Yeah, okay, well, I wouldn't. Because as I said, I'm not doing anything until I have permission to damage this from EM Logic. Okay, unless, of course, you want to donate $40,000 for a replacement pick and place machine. I am in a very precarious situation with them and with Neoden right now. I need to be up and running, and anything I do that prevents me from being up and running is going to get shoved back in my face when it comes to getting fixed. Like, you know, if I say to them, hey, by the way, I wrecked this, I'm not just sitting here, dude, really, James, like, if this is annoying you, don't watch my streams, okay? Really, I'm not sitting here complaining. We're discussing all the different things. I'm just showing you all this, right? Is it fucking stupid that they Loctite their screws all the way through? It is. Is that reasonable for me to say? Sure. But, I mean, really, like, you're not the one at financial risk here. I'm the one at financial risk here. If I damage this trying to replace the module and then go back to them and say, hey, by the way, I damaged this, I'm going to get the big FU from them, and then I'm going to be completely screwed. So, you know, sorry for being more cautious. I mean, really. Well, the whole machine vibrates, right? I mean, it's relatively fast moving, you know, multiple axis, things going, you know, that's why they conformally coat all their PCBs. So parts can't jostle off. That's why they, you know, Loctite things, I guess. But it seems odd. So, like, they haven't Loctite these screws. They're not been Loctite. They didn't Loctite these ones that attach it on there. There's plenty of screws that aren't. But for some reason, these side ones here that just hold these two things together, right, have been glued all the way through. Weird. Different OEM. No, it's all made by Neoden. They design all their boards. It's all their proprietary stuff, but putting rubber. Yeah, I'm still waiting to hit a rubber band over the hole and use a Torx bit. Okay, that's the rubber band trick. Okay. There's a tiny pico powering that and they don't want me to know. Yeah, how funny is that? Oh. Oh. So best bit for now is the screw removal bit discussed above. Well, I might try the rubber band trick first, because I don't have to go anywhere to try that. So I've got Torx bits, but not in, you know, a flat head. I don't know. Everyone's saying try the rubber band thing. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to actually try it now. Actually, I'll leave these ones on because they're ones I know they're good. Does it have to be a Torx bit though? I don't. As I said, the only Torx bits I've got are. I mean, I don't have flat handle. And how wide does a rubber band be? I mean, I can go buy a Torx set. I've never really needed one. Let me just see what I've got. Hang on. Like, I've only got them in these, you know, kit thingies, whatever. I don't have anything that's going to have decent. Don't use an old hex key or Torx bit. What do you mean an old? No Torx set, let alone a security Torx set. What would I need them for? I've never needed one. I'm just actually curious. Yeah, that's not going to work. I've also been pretty good at, undoing things. This is kind of a unique situation for me where... Anyway, so what type of elastic band? I don't know if I've got a thick, wide elastic band. When you say don't use an old one, you mean don't use one that's worn. Is that what you mean? I think that's what you mean. I don't think I've got any wide elastic bands. That could be a problem. That's a showstopper already. I've got lots of torque bits, but they're all in these, these type of crappy things, that's all. I've never really needed anything. Like, can I use a... Yeah, that's not doing anything. That just put a hole in the elastic band. So, yeah. Torx trick works well. I don't know. That just put a hole in the elastic band. What type of elastic band do I need? Obviously one I don't have. Learn the hard way to have a set of security bits. After we shipped hardware to an event and one machine died, a hard drive was held in with a security tool. Ooh, a less holy one. Yeah. Use my underwear. Who says I'm wearing underwear? Really? God, that's a big assumption. Oh, okay, well, I'm pushing down hard, and that's another one I've just gone through. There is no new one. A new one of these, lead time is 1 million years. Yeah. I can never go back in. If I destroy this, I can never go back in production unless I buy a new pick and place machine. No, I don't want. That's the whole point. Which is why I'm not going to take flame, heat, or a hammer to it, and why I don't even want to drill. Why I won't drill. The extractor thing, maybe if it's not really drilling it in, acetone under the head and into the thread to break it down. I haven't, Peter, hi Peter, but as I explained before, there is glass and wires. Glass and wires running where these screws are. These screws are holding a clamp together that holds all of that together. So I want to, I don't know what's going to happen if I put acetone through there. I got to be really careful. As I said, I need permission to do anything drastic with this. I need to know that I'm going to get them to replace it first. Yep, I'm going to do that. Doesn't Loctite need massive heat to break down? I'm pretty sure. It depends on the Loctite, what number they're using, but I would assume so. I was told you need super high temperatures. Yeah, that's just... Can you hear that? That's the torque screw. Whatever it is, I don't know. It's got it good. Bake it. Hopefully I'll hear back this morning sometime. Oh, I just got a message from DHL that my PCBs are coming today. Yes, I know they're coming today. Just come already.
Quixotic Geek says, what about localized heat with a soldering iron?
Possibly, but I still can't turn the head anymore. I'd still have to cut into the head to be able to put a flat head or something. Whatever I do now, it doesn't matter. I've stripped the inside of the nut, right? It's not gonna. There's nothing I can put in it to rotate it out. So I can do the iron, but I still can't unscrew it. I don't, but I can go buy replacement screws. That's not a problem. There's a massive nuts and bolts place like 2 minutes away from me. I can walk in there with the screw and say, hey, I need these or something like it. That's not a problem. But I still need to get the screw out. Do you need to loosen? No, all the other ones just came out by themselves. They took some real, like, so when, you know, the twist was like twist, and then it went, like, you could hear the crack as it cracked through whatever the glue was. Like, it was pretty, I had to aggressively get it out. Yeah, this is either black or clear. I can't really tell. Yeah, I'm screwed. Screwed by 2 screws. Or what I can do is open up the back camera again and put the old, which I'm probably going to have to do. I'll do that this morning. I'll put the old lighting module back on again, so I have 2 broken ones again. Or 2 non-working ones, which means then I can continue picking placing with the issues I had before. Right now, with the new one and the old one, I can't use the front one. Yeah, I don't know if it's... I don't think it's CA glue. I mean, they use Loctite elsewhere. Like, I've had discussions with them before. Yeah, I know you did, James, but you did it in all caps, and you did it with swearing, and you did it super aggravated, and, you know... So consider that however frustrated you were, yeah, my last 3 weeks has been a million times more. So, you know, you can go at me if you want, but I'm not going to respond well because, you know, you've got bigger, more important issues. And as I said, Neodin are waiting for me to stuff this up so they can point fingers at me and blame me for all the things wrong with my pick and place
Alan
machine.
Matson says shorten your hexagon tool to get a clean hexagon.
Sure, I can do that. I could also just go buy another one for $16, like whatever. So what's interesting is I took the back one and put it on the front and assembled it and turned it on, and guess what? The front one knows it's the front one and the back one knows it's the back one. And so when I said light up the front one, the back one lit up, and when I said light up the back one, the front one lit up, but they don't light up properly, so I can't swap them around. That was also frustrating. So they've something on the PCBs they've done that marks one as a back and one as a front, so I had to flip them around again. I thought my solution was to only use my front feeders and hand place the few large ones from the back, but I can't swap them around. And of course, I can't swap the actual camera PCBs, because if I could open up to get that out, I could open up to get the lighting fixed. So Sometimes I use a Torx bit instead of a hex when they don't. Yeah, in my case, the torque is just spinning around idly now. So that won't do anything for me, unfortunately. I don't think I've got a flat that would fit directly inside. No, like I'd have to hammer one in, I reckon. Which, of course, I don't really want to do. T15. Right, well, that's what we spoke about. Like, I'd consider dremeling it into a flathead screw. But again, you know... Yeah. Can't get that in. Does it have a bulge head that you could grab? Yeah, no, it's a button head. Can't grab with the pliers. Anyway, we should move on from this. That's my today challenge, because I can't click the place without it. The good news is I can still continue hand placing. So, you know, that's yeah. If you ever want to get frustrated about having a non-working pick and place machine sitting next to you while you're hand assembling boards, it's a very interesting mental conversation you have. Yeah, or button or pan, the round heads. How powerful is the laser? No, my laser can't cut metal. Flesh P&P, hand P&P. Let's talk about Avatar 2. I haven't seen it yet. Is it out? When did... Anyway. Did we get anything on? I ordered an antenna that I'm going to try dropping into my existing boards. I'm not hopeful. And there'll be financial incentive to fix the need and selling solutions to other users. Well, financial incentive for who? For Neoden? No. They just don't seem to care. I don't know. You got to remember, I've had these lighting problems for 18 months. And it's only now they're doing something about it because I went legal on EM Logic. Or I went legal threat on EM Logic. So, like, clearly they don't care enough to get it fixed. Even though it's a known issue. So maybe Neoden maybe EM Logic have got their camera module out of their machine still. Like they took the lighting module out. So maybe if it's out of their machine, maybe I can get someone that's there to package it up and send it to me. No, I'm not going to. No, it takes me 2 hours to hand assemble a panel. I'm definitely not doing that on a stream. If I did it on a stream, it would take me like 3 hours and the paste would expire. As it is, that 2 hour window is already, you know, maybe a bit long for what I'd like. For me to find a solution, but what would my solution be? I mean, everything about their whole thing is proprietary. I mean, these camera modules are proprietary. You know, this is all proprietary. Their PCBs for the cameras are proprietary. You know, it's using some unknown protocol over Ethernet that they're using. Yeah, it's a bit like that, Emery. Like, I wish it wasn't, because other than this failed modules, which they could have easily replaced 18 months ago, the machine's been great. And, you know, I mean, I've got some air issues now and things, but, you know, if they were just willing to supply parts, replacement parts, it would have been great. I would have been singing their praises. I would have bought another one ages ago. You know, I would have stayed with an all Neoden production line. I would have got a Neoden stencil printer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was no reason why this couldn't have been a really awesome ongoing relationship, and I would have gladly spent more money with them. But they just... Now, are there machines worth buying? Apart from the support stuff, are there machines worth buying? Sure. I'd buy one in a heartbeat, but not if I can't get parts for it. Like, I just can't be left dead like this. Like, it's... I mean, think about it. Like, they're strangling my business by not supplying me these camera modules, and they should have done it 18 months ago. You can buy parts for industrial... Like, if I bought a Juki, I could get parts for the Juki, no problem. I could buy parts directly from Juki. I could buy second-hand parts. I could buy, third-party parts. You know what I mean? There are enough Jukis out there. There are enough spare machines out there. But Juki are willing to supply parts. So are Samsung. So are, Yamaha. So, like, whatever else. But Neoden just won't supply parts. They just won't do it. Oh, right. Yeah, no, they won't sell parts to me, and they won't give me parts. They still don't even think that this is the solution, even though I swapped the back one and it fixed my lighting problem. I've not been able to use the back left-hand feeders on my machine for 18 months. With vision, right? If I'm willing to get them picked and placed without vision, sure. But I couldn't use them for vision, which means I can't do anything lower than an 0805 in size. And they said it wasn't the lighting module, and that's why they wouldn't send me one, apparently. Well, surprise, surprise, I changed the lighting module yesterday and it fixed the problem straight away. As it did on Core Electronics machine, as it did on some other machines in Europe. So, if you're not going to send me a module and because you don't think that's the problem, then fix it some other way, which they didn't do either. So, yeah. I mean, these are cheap machines in the scheme of pick and place machines, but at any price point, selling someone a machine and not supporting it and not supplying parts if something breaks is just insane. It's insane. Well, there are laws with car manufacturers, right? Like, you can't buy a car in Australia from America and have it imported. Well, you kind of can't. Not really, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to buy a car in Australia, you buy it from an Australian dealer, even if it's an overseas car, and then the dealer does the warranty on it. It's their responsibility, which is why I'm after, EM Logic. I bought it from EM Logic, and they have to fix this. Okay, we're going for a while. Not admitting it's their fault because you're a YouTuber. No, it's just nothing to do with the YouTuber. It's just me being a YouTuber has hurt them financially. But it's still not enough of an incentive for them. I don't know. It's just a cultural thing. I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I had the answer. It makes no sense why you wouldn't go out of your way to make your customers happy regardless, right? And this is a known 100% reproducible fault that I've sent them dozens of videos on that they agree is not working correctly, and they just wouldn't send me the parts. I can't tell you why. It makes no sense to me at any level why they wouldn't send the parts. And everyone else you speak to, I deal with Chinese company and they're blah, 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 they're great and they're whatever. But the truth is actually no. Like, you got to be in this same situation, right? Saying, great customer support from this other company. As it's not just necessarily Chinese companies, but like in my case, I've got a pretty bad track record at the moment with Chinese companies. I don't know. Well, so the guys in Europe replaced the modules for their customers from their own stock of machines and then had to fight with Neoden for months and months and months to get modules to put back in those machines so they could sell them. And that's their resellers. So, I don't think I'm being singled out. It's just, a cultural thing or something. I don't know, but it's just insane. Have you tried negotiating a new machine with some spare parts that That fact. Huh? What do you mean? If we try and negotiate a new machine. You mean me buy another machine off Neoden and get them to ship it with extra parts for the ones that fail? They won't do that. Oh, they'll take my money and send me a new machine. They won't send spare parts with it. Not a chance. Yeah, it's like they're trying to... It feels like, even after I've had hundreds of hours of conversations with them, and they've generated a shit ton of business off me. Catch you later, Dave. It's like every conversation I have with them is, hey, Neoden, by the way, my feed is doing something weird. It's not operating correctly. Like, here's a video. Look, it's failed. It stopped working. Blah, blah, blah. I can't make it work. I power it down, power it up. Okay, it's working again. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, it stopped working again, right? And their immediate response is, I'm doing something wrong. Like, at no state do they ever go, yeah, Sion might know what he's talking about. We trust him that he's tried everything, and that, yeah, you know, like how about I've got, you know, 80 other feeders, identical feeders on my machine, and none of them are doing that same thing, and I've picked and placed tens of thousands of boards, yet this one feeder is like doing this weird thing, so we trust that Sion is right because it's, you know, we can see it doing something weird and it's not just something stupid Sion's doing, right? No. They go through the whole process of, oh, no, you're doing this wrong, Sion. No, you're doing that wrong. Have you tried doing this, Sion? Have you tried moving it to a different spot? Yes, I've tried moving it. Have you tried that? Yes, I've tried that. Have you, like, really? Like, I wouldn't bother you with this feeder isn't working properly if I had done no troubleshooting on it already. If I hadn't ruled out that I've done something stupid, I wouldn't ping you with an issue. But no trust. Doesn't matter how, like, years they've been working with me. You right? Yet, no. Anything that pops up, Sion's fault. Which is why I'm not going to do anything with this module until I have the thumbs up, because it's just going to be Sion's fault. And then I'll never ever get it replaced, I'll never get it fixed, and I'll never be able to do anything. And I just couldn't find where I put it. It's over there. Yeah. Maybe historically they've been scanned, but like, really? I probably put more boards and more parts through my machine than anyone that's ever owned a Neoden, or at least a Neoden 8, let me tell you. Like, most Neoden 8s out there are building LED panels. Like, anyway. It's I wish they'd changed their tune. Even after all of this, I would continue working with them again if they changed their tune. If they did. Right? Not that I'd really trust that they'd change it and stick with it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't think there's any particular evil person there at Neoden that's trying to shaft me. But as a company, as a decision-making entity, upper management, it's just, it doesn't make any sense that they'd make one of their customers so unhappy and let them run for so long with a damaged machine that they admit is not working correctly. Yeah. I've not even looked at 7 yet. I'm too scared to. Because, like, I came up, like, I started using KiCad when 6 was in, you know, their unofficial state, and I was only using 6, so it changed a lot and things broke, whatever else, blah, blah, blah. And I remember how different it was to 5, and I've not even looked at a nightly of 7. I'm concerned that I'm going to get lost in it again. So, but I'm excited by some of the changes coming in 7. But one of the feature requests that I asked for during the 6 cycle, like before 6 was released, that got bumped to 7, I just found out the other day got bumped to 8. Which, it's another year I've got to wait. That's annoying. So in summary, yes, Neoden pick and place. No, there is change. I now can't use my machine at all, not even with 4 feeders, with 4 nozzles, because of this, unless I pull the other lighting thing back out. Siglent VNA, no change. Any good news? Well, I have a new compressor that was rather expensive. I bought it for myself as a birthday present, so you know that's kind of weird. So the good news is I have air. Yay. No real, I guess. Yeah. Have you tried soldering the hex key into the screw? No, I haven't. Someone suggested that. Would solder work? A stainless steel screw and the hex bit? Peter, folks were suggesting I Loctite it in or whatever else, but the problem is there's 3 screws I need to get out. One of them I've not damaged yet intentionally, but it's also Loctited. Happy compressor birthday. Thank you, Max. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a 3rd screw with exactly the same situation, but I have not, on purpose, tried to do anything with it. Yeah, so that's a lot of screws to do that with. So this one from this easy out thing at Bunnings is too big. I need to find one that's smaller. I wonder if Total Tools have. I'm very lucky that I've got, like 5 minutes away from me, there are 3 major hardware stores. I've got Total Tools, Sydney Tools, and Bunnings. So I've got a lot of easy out. Can you talk a bit on your new sensor printer? Hey, Mike. Yeah, J-Car's not... and I guess Dick Smith. Well, J-Car, yeah. So there's not a lot to tell yet because I haven't actually powered it up. I haven't got it like running yet. I haven't fully commissioned. I only got an English manual yesterday for it. So I have to drill first to use easy out. So there's really not a lot to talk about yet. My stencils fit in it, which is good. I had to change some things in the machine to get the right size for the stencil. So it boots into Chinese Windows XP, which I can't change the language. And no matter what I do in the software, every time the software starts up, it's in Chinese. So I've got to get through all of the screens in Chinese and then set it to English, which is, you know, it's a little bit annoying. But yeah, I haven't really commissioned it yet. So, I mean, is there anything specific you want to know? I put a photo in Discord, but it's a what? A surgical extractor. A what? To drill, you need to drill a hole for. Okay. Don't need to drill it out or try a screw extractor, it'll end in tears. Oh, screws that drop out in a vise. Yeah, okay. So it doesn't look like there's. Oh, hang on. Easy out. Ipu, no. They don't seem to have anything, unless they're under a different name. Sydney Tools.
Super chat!
Thanks, Mr. Explorer. A decent Torx set. I will buy it. Will define decent. I can go out and buy a set today. Honestly, I think I've used a Torx bit once in the last 5 years. So, which is why I don't really own a set. I'm happy to buy a set. I just don't know what I'm going to use it for. Okay, so what else would we call it if not easy out? Because these websites for searching are terrible. I don't know that Bunnings link anymore. Screw extractor. Okay. Okay. Wow, all different types. Screws don't work well on stainless screws in my experience, having removed a lot of M4 stainless bound. Yeah, why? Is it because it's... Hey, Lachlan. Is it because it's soft? So I should always use Torx instead of Hex, is that what you're saying? Okay, well that would make sense. I'm happy to get a good... Yeah, you got it, Kevin. Oh, you're 15 seconds late. Like, I can use Torx instead of Hex just for my general use, I guess. But, catch you later, Andy Mouse. So I don't really know what I'm looking for. That's M4, M5, M6, M8, M10, M14. Yeah, there's nothing. I need M2. Whoa, $292. I'm just curious to see if there's what sizes are in this. Oh, Imperial. So I don't even know what 2.5 would be. 2 slide flats, then use the vice grip. Yeah, that's an option. As I said earlier, Lachlan, I'm not sure if you were there. I need to get permission first to potentially damage this before I do anything. I need to, yeah, I need to get in writing that they'll replace this whole camera mount thing if I do something to it in the process. I have to be very careful. There's glass inside. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. This is what I'd use as expert to the screws. Do you have a link to those? S-Expert in Discord posted a picture of some stuff. Grind back with a lot of dipping. I can't dip it in water. Yeah, I'm not dipping in water. Thanks. It's okay. Amazon. So this was just posted to me. Is in French. Right. Here's a. Catch you later, Peter. Have a good day. And what are these ones? Socket out. Oh, down to M3. Right. I don't understand how that would work. Isn't that just the same as a normal... Okay, yep, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe M3 is big enough, or sorry, small enough still. Hey, Christopher. Sock it out. Where do I don't know if I can... Do I have? Sock it out. Delivered tomorrow. What's delivered tomorrow, Peter? Tap it in. I can't tap it in. I can't tap it in. There's glass inside. I'll be tapping against the edge of a sheet of glass. Oh, were you looking at the Amazon thing? Was that what you're looking at? I can't tap it. Not happening. So Geek says always use a torque if you can. Yeah, okay, I'll get myself some torque. Requires no drilling and easily used in compact spaces without damage application. Right, but if I have to tap it in, I'm going to shatter the glass inside. Peter, what were we saying about deliver tomorrow? Which one were you looking at? What's delivered tomorrow? Yeah, tap tap boom, oops. Trouble, trouble. Okay, I need to hear back from EM Logic. Yeah, I need to do that. Type this into an Amazon search. Okay. Go for it. Just tap it into the stripped. Yeah, I can't. Okay, wait. Maybe a misunderstanding. If I get a sheet of glass, yeah, put a bit of metal over the top, and then go tap, tap, tap on the top, what's going to happen to the glass? I'm just going to put, yeah. So I break the glass and then I'm completely dead. What am I typing into the search, Peter? What have I missed? Have you posted something previous that I can't see? Oh, here we go. Tapping as in thread tapping. To tapping. Are you sure? But this is not thread tapping. These socket... How would this be a thread tapping? Oh, hang on 1 second, Peter. Okay, now you can. I didn't know you were trying to do a... You're a moderator now. I didn't know you were trying to paste a URL. Sorry. You can do it now. Yeah, I get that, but that's not what this is. Like, that's... Wouldn't that require there to be thread on this? Which there isn't. I think these are designed to be tapped in because they're tapered. Like, as in, they're designed to be tapped. So, I think that's something different. Can you paste now, Peter? Does that work? Oh, 3 hours. Jeez. In the business units around you, do you have any mechanical type companies, engineers that deal with stuff all the time, often know all sorts of weird tricks? Yeah, so the socket out need to be hammered in. That's what I thought, because they're tapered. I don't know. There might be some engineering companies around. I mean, I could just knock on the door and walk in. But once again, not until I got permission, because I don't want anyone else. Like, you know, I mean, people can suggest stuff, but... Oh, you emailed it to me instead? Okay. I just heard my email go ping. Yeah, we were looking at easy out before. Yeah, okay. Friday the 23rd of December. Yeah. Okay, so something like that. But will that do 2.5 millimeter? That's the problem. How small is this small one? Yeah, I need something that'll do the 2.5, and this doesn't actually say how... Or I'm missing something. Oh, right. Here we go. 2 to 3 millimeters. So I guess that'll work. Yep. But this requires drilling first or not? Screw head is inverted to drill the same hole. The reverse is, right, so I drill with one end and then I do it with the other one. Right. Wait, how is this 6.2 wide and this one 4 and this one 3.4, 3.4, 2.8? I think they've got these numbers the wrong way around. Whoops. You already have the hole. Ah, okay. So I should be able to just drill, you say I should be able to drill this end here in. Okay, I need to find someone who's got these in stock though. Because, yeah, I can't wait till the 23rd. And they didn't have anything like it, maybe? Oh, can you get it on Prime next day? Okay, yeah, I don't have Prime. I just want to see if, I'm surprised that you can't get them from... Like, aren't these similar? But just maybe not the right size. You bought it already. Thanks, Peter. Right, these are just... I mean, these look similar, just the wrong size. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. 3-piece sandblasted burnished bits. Yeah, that's got 2mm. Oh, 3 to 5mm for extraction bits. Okay, well, I gotta wait to hear back from EM Logic. Yeah. It's frustrating waiting for them to reply at the moment because they're away. So I understand need it. Have you tried offering them 10 times the value of what the fuel might be worth just to see if the issue is money? Well, no, but I don't think, like, if they wouldn't sell me one, then they were not going to sell me one at 10 times the price. But like, that's ridiculous that I should have to do that. Yes, downtime, whatever, but it doesn't matter. Like, the issue is not the module now. There's no way they'll sell me the whole camera assembly. They won't do that. Not a chance. Yeah, and maybe they just don't have parts. They don't have parts spare. I don't know, but it's been 18 months. I'm pretty sure they would have had parts at some stage over that 18 months. So, yeah, okay. I got board testing to do and packing, and I have to. I'm going to try to get the stencil printer kind of going today, maybe if I can. If I do, I'll make a video about how it all works or something. Thanks, X-Girls, but yeah, really not interested. Cheers. Oh, Michael got it. Thanks, Michael. I was too slow. Good luck getting it unscrewed. Thanks. Okay, folks, I'm going to go. Yeah, the antenna stuff. I've ordered antennas. I've got three different antennas coming. All Ignion. One's a drop-in. No, one's a drop-in on the footprint, but might not work properly. One's a footprint replacement of the same size, and one is a tiny one, but the orientation is not great. I will have to work out what I'm going to do.
Quixotic Geek says good night, Ian.
Good night, Quixotic Geek. I'm going to have to come up with a couple of new designs. I'll probably just stick with my tiny S3 to start with.
Mike Causen says good.
Good night, day, morning. Yeah, I'll let you know how that goes once I've got them. Oh, Ian! Missed the stream. Sorry, mate. Okay. Take care. Bye, everyone.